I should have pushed him away the first time he touched me like that. But when my little brother's fingers traced my hip under the covers, slow, teasing, knowing exactly what he was doing, I didn't stop him. Some lines you can't uncross. Like the night my brother's mouth found the secret place behind my knee, and I let him. Warning: this story contains mature themes and intense emotional tension. Listener discretion advised. Hit subscribe for the full intoxicating story. Chapter 1: The First Touch. Lena had always known Ethan was dangerous. Not in the way that could hurt her physically. No, her younger brother was gentle, protective, always making sure she was safe. But there was something in the way he looked at her sometimes, a heat in his gaze that made her stomach tighten. She was 30, a woman who had known lovers before, but none had ever made her feel like this, like her skin was too tight, like every glance between them was a spark threatening to ignite. It started on a rainy night. They were alone in the house, their parents away on a trip. Ethan had just turned 22, his body lean but strong, his jaw sharpening into manhood. He had poured them both a glass of wine, and when his fingers brushed hers as he handed it to her, neither of them pulled away. The air between them thickened. "Lena," he murmured, his voice rough. She should have stopped it then. But when his hand cupped her cheek, his thumb tracing her bottom lip, she let out a shaky breath. And then, his mouth crashed against hers. It was desperate, hungry, years of unsaid words poured into that one kiss. His hands tangled in her hair, pulling her closer, and she melted against him, her body betraying every rational thought. When they finally broke apart, breathing hard, his eyes were dark with need. "We can't," she whispered. "I know," he said. But neither of them stopped. Chapter 2: The Nights That Followed. After that first kiss, it became an addiction. Every night, when the house was silent, Ethan would slip into her room. His hands would roam her body, learning every curve, every sigh she made. He worshipped her like she was something sacred, and yet his touch was anything but holy. One night, he pinned her wrists above her head, his lips trailing down her neck. "You're so beautiful," he murmured against her skin. "I've wanted this for so long." She gasped as his teeth grazed her collarbone. "Ethan." "Tell me to stop," he challenged, his voice low. She didn't. Instead, she arched into him, her body answering what her mind refused to admit. They were playing with fire. And they were both going to burn. Chapter 3: The World Outside. By day, they were careful. Lena was the responsible older sister, the one who made sure Ethan ate, who scolded him for staying out too late. He was the charming younger brother, always teasing her, always finding excuses to touch her, a hand on her waist as he passed by, a lingering hug that lasted just a second too long. No one suspected a thing. But at night, he was hers. He knew exactly how to make her fall apart, his mouth trailing down her stomach, his fingers coaxing pleasure from her until she was gasping his name. "You're mine," he would growl against her skin, possessive in a way that should have scared her. But it didn't. It only made her want him more. Chapter 4: The Fall. Their downfall came too soon. Their mother walked in on them one morning, Ethan's lips on Lena's bare shoulder, her fingers tangled in his hair. The scream that tore from her throat shattered everything. "What have you done?" Shame. Horror. Disgust. Their father didn't speak to them for days. Their sister refused to look at them. Ethan, ever defiant, refused to apologize. "I love her," he said, his voice steady. But love wasn't enough. Chapter 5: The Last Night. They had one final night together. No words, just desperate touches, kisses that tasted like salt, tears, sweat, regret. Ethan pressed his forehead to hers, his breathing ragged. "Run away with me." She wanted to. God, she wanted to. But she kissed him one last time and whispered, "We can't." At dawn, she left. Epilogue. 5 years later. Lena stood in a crowded cafe, her heart stopping when she saw him. Ethan. Older now, his shoulders broader, his eyes harder. But when their gazes met, she saw it, the same fire, the same hunger. He didn't smile. Neither did she. But for a single, fleeting moment, the world fell away. And then, he turned and left. Some fires burn too bright to last. Some loves are meant to destroy you. Final chapter. Ashes of US. The letter arrived on a Thursday. Lena recognized Ethan's messy handwriting instantly, her fingers trembling as she tore open the envelope. 5 years. 5 years since she'd last felt his hands on her skin, heard his voice whisper her name like a prayer. Meet me at the old boathouse. Midnight. E. The paper smelled faintly of his cologne, that same spicy scent that used to linger on her sheets. She shouldn't go. She knew better. But her body remembered what her mind tried to forget. The moon was full when she arrived. He stood silhouetted against the water, taller now, shoulders broader. When he turned, the hunger in his eyes hadn't dimmed one bit. You came, he murmured. I shouldn't have. The space between them crackled with unsaid words. His fingers brushed hers, just like that first time, and suddenly she was pressed against the weathered wood, his mouth claiming hers with the same desperate need from years ago. Her body arched into him, betraying her all over again. We can't keep doing this, she gasped between kisses. Ethan rested his forehead against hers, his breathing ragged. Then tell me to leave. Right now. And mean it. The lake lapped at the dock. Somewhere, an owl cried. Lena opened her mouth and kissed him harder. In the morning, his side of the bed was cold. A single note on the pillow. This time, I'm the one who's strong enough to walk away. For both of us. E. Outside, tire marks scarred the gravel driveway. Lena pressed the note to her chest, the paper absorbing her silent tears. Some loves were wildfires, beautiful, all-consuming, but destined to leave nothing but ashes. And oh, how they'd burned.